So I'll give you a little backstory on how I actually came across law of attraction. So I was actually in rehab in Florida, probably oof, 10 years ago. And there was this guy, Gavin, and at the time I'd never met anyone who was rich, and he was in rehab with me. So instead of, long story short, he got in DUI. Instead of going to jail, he got into rehab. So, born again Christian, consider myself spiritual now, more spiritual. And I never heard about this stuff called law of attraction or The Secret or any of this. And there's this guy here. Meanwhile, yeah, don't get me wrong. Yeah, got issues, drinking issues. I mean, I was an addict. I was there, for my own issues. But obviously, the guy got his stuff together a lot more than I did. Never, of course, never been around someone with money. So he starts talking to me about, this thing called The Secret and explaining how your thoughts, become things, how your thoughts are vibration. And the law of attraction is you attract things. Who you are is what you attract, but you're also like a magnet. So think of yourself as a magnet. Like, what are you attracting, right? Like, if you have negative, thoughts, feelings, and actions, you're just going to attract negativity. It's like when you wake up in the morning and you bust your toe against the bed, and the rest of your day goes like crap. So he was explaining all this to me. And they weren't happy at the rehab about this because this, they don't teach this stuff. Most people don't teach this stuff. You don't get taught it. And I've never got taught this in rehab. They do the whole, your childhood. And I'm not saying it's not all relevant, but like your childhood and how you grew up. And this is why you are the way you are, which I understand that. But, to me, it's like, I'm like, okay, so my life sucks. I mean, don't get me wrong. I never went through any trauma or any bad things in my childhood. I just, like to do substances and enjoy doing them and just got addicted. I'm sure there's reasons I can go into of why and whatnot, but that's not what this is for. I didn't realize that I create my reality. That was new to me. I was like, wait, I create my reality, They don't tell you that in church. You pray about things. I mean, you can that's another form of, creation, but like, I never knew this stuff. I was like, I create my reality. That's awesome. I didn't realize the whole thoughts become things. And it just blew me away because I started practicing it. You got to research this stuff, right? It doesn't just happen like that. And, life is just this magical rainbow of things that just come to you. You got to research it. So I remember when I was done rehab, I went up back to Pennsylvania. I was literally there for 2 weeks and I relapsed like an idiot. Relapsed was the worst addiction phase I went through. And probably the darkest time too of my life. But I still remembered what he taught me. I wasn't practicing it. I mean, law of attraction works regardless if you believe in it or not. It's the law of the universe. You attract who you are. And so one day I was just getting fed up with it. I was having panic attacks all day. I had a drink of, I don't want to get into it all on YouTube. I don't know if they'll not, push my video if I say certain things. But long story short, I just, I had to drink a ridiculous amount every day just to be able to do other substances and not have a panic attack. So it was getting to the point where I just couldn't take it, And I did that stuff for about 6 years in general. Went to 3 rehabs, 6 outpatient therapies, all that good stuff, like 6 counselors, whatever. So when I decided to stop everything, I was like, so using law of attraction, using your thoughts, right? Thoughts are the highest form of creation. So in my head, I was like, well, what I used to do before I got into this stuff. So I started thinking of the stuff I used to do before I got into it. So I'm thinking, like, okay, so obviously I gotta get out of the place I was at. I was at a place where we were all doing it together. I was at a job where the people I worked with, you know, that I lived with, worked there. You know, like they say in rehab, you know, change your places, people, places, and things. So that's definitely one thing. So I went and started applying at other jobs, but I didn't just. You have to put action into it, but I wasn't just putting action into it. I had a desire. I knew that I was going to be doing better things, way better things. Got a delivery driver job. Started making more money than I ever had made before. I was working full time. I was working like 60 hours a week. I love working. So, and I started making more money than I ever made. My parents told me at the time that they're like, you know, you have to be 1 year sober in order for you to move back here. But I threw that out of my head. You know, the other thing is, I knew that my parents would let me move back in with them. Circumstances, remember, circumstances don't matter. Only state of being matters. So don't listen to all the stuff where like, oh, this is true. My parents said I have to be a year sober. No, throw that all out the door. That doesn't mean anything. You create your reality. You can make that happen in a week. And I did. It happened in a week. Got the job, quit all that stuff. Actually, I ended up working for that guy, Gavin. It didn't work out because the job, I didn't like it. You know, it was sales kind of stuff. But I ended up working for him down the line, which was even better. He says, you know, I gave my number to a lot of people in the rehab. He's like, you're the only one who ever called me. I'm like, well, you know, you gave me an opportunity, you treated me right. So that is kind of my start to the law of attraction. So if you could subscribe, like, and comment below what you think and maybe what I could keep talking about, I would really appreciate that. I would like to keep doing this because I like it. It's fun. I'm trying to get more into it. You know, 8 years ago, I was really into it. I knew a lot about it. But then I got off track, and now I'm trying to get back on track and, you know, I would say teach it, because I learn more when I speak about it than if I just, you know, research it. So please subscribe, comment, and like. I really appreciate it, guys.